On the surface, Porygon-Z seems like a usable enough Pokemon, at least in competitive singles. Decent speed, fantastic special attack, and 2 great abilities in adaptability and download. And it's not terrible. It is able to be quite effective in some tiers. It is unfortunately outclassed, mainly by Xurkitree, which has slightly lower speed, but in return, gets 40 more special attack, useful coverage, and tail glow, as if Xurkitree needed more special attack. Overall, Porygon-Z seems like a fairly average Pokemon. Yet another Pokemon to slowly fade into the depths of the lower tiers. So, how the heck did Porygon-Z manage to go from RUBL to UUBL over the course of a single tournament? May I introduce you to the Porygon-Z Theorem, where, as Mudkip Nerd describes, every hypothetical change to the metagame will break Porygon-Z. Don't worry, we'll get back to Porygon-Z's tier jump in a moment, but first, why does any hypothetical change to the metagame break Porygon-Z? I would argue that it is because Porygon-Z is so close to having everything it needs to be good. The simplest example is speed. Base 90 speed kinda isn't great. Base 100 tends to be the baseline for good speed, and 90 just doesn't cut it for outspeeding offensive threats in higher tiers. This often requires Porygon-Z to run Choice Scarf to negate this weakness, which means Porygon-Z doesn't always have the power to remove defensive Pokemon. Boosting Porygon-Z's power is Porygon-Z's 2 great abilities in adaptability and download. Adaptability causes Porygon-Z's stab boost to be 2 times instead of 1.5 times, while download will cause Porygon-Z to either gain 1.5 times attack or special attack, depending on the opponent's stats. Both are great abilities, but are very limiting on Porygon-Z. Normal is a terrible attacking type, hitting nothing for super effective damage. Download is great, but Porygon-Z can't abuse it like Genesect can, as Porygon-Z doesn't have the pivot moves to fish for the right boosts. With either ability, Porygon-Z will have to switch around the opponent, and with its low speed, will have to avoid the opponent's offensive Pokemon as well. Of course, Porygon-Z can don Choice Specs to function as a better wall breaker, but then it loses the speed it crucially needs. Porygon-Z is also limited by its attacking options. Porygon-Z has no way to hit Steel types for super effective damage, which is problematic, as Steel types resist Porygon-Z's normal stab. While Porygon-Z does have a great move pool, it has a terrible move pool for what its role is. And side tangent, why does Porygon-Z not get any fire moves? Broken computers overheat all the time. And it also gets Blizzard and Leafstorm, 2 things broken computers definitely do not do. Porygon-Z also doesn't get any fantastic stab options, having to rely on Tri-Attack, or you can go kaboom and use Hyper Beam. Porygon-Z is so close to having what it needs to function, but it just doesn't have enough. And hence, the reason for the Porygon-Z Theorem. Any change given to Porygon-Z will give Porygon-Z what it needs. Terra gives it the better typing it needs, and Z-Crystals give it enough power to break through walls. If Porygon-Z gets more attack, it can afford to be quicker, and if it gets more speed, then it can afford to run more attack. Though actually, when I was talking about Porygon-Z to use Z-Crystals to break through walls, I was lying. Porygon-Z uses Z-Crystals for one thing, and this use case is why Porygon-Z got banned from UU. This is Z-Conversion. You see, by using Normalium Z with the move conversion, Porygon-Z would fix every one of its issues. Z-Conversion would not only change Porygon-Z's typing to the first move on its moves list, but give it an Omniboost, a boost in every one of its stats. And would you look at that? That fixes every one of Porygon-Z's issues. It's now faster, does more damage, has better stab, and can even switch to a more defensive typing, giving it better bulk. It does come with drawbacks, as it does use a Z-Crystal, and can still be KO'd before setting up, but it was still very powerful. Of course, there are times that this theorem was not correct, namely Dynamax. Though Dynamax ended up becoming a pretty much double exclusive mechanic, a format where Porygon-Z lacks the traits to function. And some other examples of Porygon-Z being broken after a change include Stabmons, where Porygon-Z gains Boom Burst, and Inverse Battles, where Normal becomes a great offensive type. Well, thank you for watching. Porygon-Z is my favorite Pokemon, so I was looking for an excuse to make a video on it. Also, sorry for not uploading last week. I've been working on a challenge run, and it's been taking up a lot of time. Also, I will make a 1000 sub special eventually, no idea when, but it will happen. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.